Hello, my name is Joe LeBay and thank you for your interest in Ratchet-X. Like most software companies, we're constantly thinking of ways to leverage our assets and create targeted, vertical, or point-oriented solutions. Solutions that solve specific problems with which our customers can identify. While these packaged solutions make Ratchet-X more relevant to certain customers, there's much more to the Ratchet-X story. When a customer purchases one of our packaged solutions, they don't think of Ratchet-X as the innovative desktop integration platform that it is. Rather, they think of it as the application that solves their specific problem. And while that's all well and good, we thought it would be valuable to take a little time and show you some of the other innovative ways our customers are using Ratchet-X. First, a little context. At its core, Ratchet-X is really all about integrating application screen data with external data sources and services that are contextually related in some specific way relevant to a given user. For example, if I'm a sales rep, when I add a new prospect to my CRM system, Ratchet-X can present me with a collection of functions that are relevant to the data available on my screen, the functions I'll perform as a sales rep, and the application I'm using. So as a sales rep, when I enter the prospect's contact information, I should also be able to 1. Check our accounting system to see if the prospect has been a customer in the past. 2. Validate the prospect's company name and address. 3. Check to see if the phone number is on a do not call list. And finally, 4. Pull a map and driving directions to the prospect's location. In this example, the screen data is contact information and the context is me, the sales rep, adding a new record to my CRM system. Now, if I was in accounting, I might want to use the same contact information, but the context is different. For example, as an accounting person, I might want to use the same data to pull a credit report or check to see if the organization's name is on an OFAC watch list. The point is, Ratchet-X is able to extract the data from my application screens, determine a context, and present me with a list of relevant functions that can be automatically executed. So with this core value proposition as a backdrop, let's look at the 8 most common usage scenarios we've seen our customers apply our technology towards. I'll bet you see a few scenarios that apply to you as well. The first use case is called the Web Services Integration. This use case applies when someone uses Ratchet-X to integrate SOAP or REST-based web services functionality into an existing Windows or browser-based application, thereby extending the capabilities of that application by adding the functions provided by the web service. So, if the functions I previously described in my CRM example were available as web services, I could use Ratchet-X to easily integrate those functions into my CRM application without programming or changing the CRM system in any way. This use case is the scenario we set out to accommodate when we first designed the Ratchet-X product. The second use case is called Desktop Application Integration. This use case is probably the most easily understood use case because it's based on a problem most of us face every day. How many times have you had the need to copy data from one or more application screens to another application? Ratchet-X allows you to do this with one click. No more tedious field-by-field copying and pasting, no more rekeying. In this use case, Ratchet-X simply moves data between applications, thus dramatically improving productivity while reducing errors. The third use case is called Content and Data Distribution. This use case is a powerful mechanism that allows content and service providers to embed their capabilities deeper into the user's computing environment without having to directly integrate with each application in that environment. For example, let's say a credit bureau wants to make its credit reports available to application users from within 10 targeted applications. Without Ratchet-X, the credit bureau would have to go through the pain and expense of creating a one-off integration into each application, assuming each application has an API. Further, they would then inherit the task of monitoring that application and modifying that custom integration code anytime that application changes. With Ratchet-X, rather than linking their offering to specific applications, the provider links their capabilities to an abstraction layer, in other words, a common data type and context, and their content or service is automatically integrated into any application that also links to that abstraction layer. Over time, the more users that link their applications to the common abstraction layer, the more applications the distributor's content and services are integrated into. This is how a service provider can extend their functionality to millions of users without writing a line of custom integration code or even knowing which applications they're integrated into. We call this viral integration. The fourth use case is called subscription services. This use case applies when Ratchet-X is used to subscribe to a web service that pushes relevant transactional data and content to the desktop as it becomes available. Once the data is pushed to the user, it can then either automatically or under the user's guidance be integrated into relevant applications. For example, we have a customer that accepts reservations through a central call center but fulfills these reservations through a network of loosely affiliated contractors. Rather than using EDI, email, or building direct connections to each affiliate's specific dispatch system, the customer created a Ratchet-X network that connects the affiliates to their central reservation system, receives reservations, and pushes them directly into the affiliate's system. No custom code was written to integrate with each affiliate's system, so maintenance is a snap. The fifth use case is called validation. This use case is most often applied to the area of corporate compliance. Most compliance solutions are reactive in that they comb through large corporate data stores searching for compliance issues after the fact. While Ratchet-X is not a full-blown compliance solution, it does allow organizations to fill a significant void in their compliance strategy. That is, catching compliance violations or coaching opportunities in real time so the organization can act more proactively. For example, Ratchet-X can watch the user's desktop and look for combinations of data that trigger a compliance notification to the user, an audit entry to a central log, or initiate a collaborative session with an online compliance expert for further consultation. The bottom line is Ratchet-X allows compliance organizations to identify vulnerabilities before they become problems. The sixth use case is called forms integration. As the name implies, this use case has to do with forms processing. Most data contained in a form either originates in a computer-based system or needs to be data entered into a computer-based system. Ratchet-X allows a user to extract data from one or more application screens to generate a form, or it can extract data from a form to populate one or more application screens. For example, if a corporate recruiter sends a job applicant a form via email, upon return, the form can then be dragged into Ratchet-X, where in turn the data is automatically extracted from the form and pasted into the appropriate fields in the HR application. The seventh use case is called Rapid Application Innovation. You programmers out there will love this. Once an application is launched, it doesn't take long for users to generate a slew of new feature requests. Rather than cherry-picking the most important requests and telling everyone else they'll have to do without, wouldn't it be great if there was a way that you, or even better, the end user, could rapidly prototype the functionality needed to help determine its value and ultimately its priority? Ratchet-X allows developers to rapidly prototype new features to both serve as a stopgap method until the feature is ultimately built, or as a cost-effective way of satisfying one-off integration requests, thus freeing up developers to focus on core application functionality. And last, but certainly not the least most valuable use case, is the document and user-defined field use case. Since Ratchet-X allows you to acquire data from other applications, there's a chance there will be no place in the existing application to house new data you acquire from another system or service. However, Ratchet-X allows you to attach user-defined fields and documents to an existing record in an application without changing the application's data model. For example, let's say I'm a CRM user and I buy a credit report for a given prospect. Unless that system has predefined fields for me to enter the credit data or gives me the ability to create new fields, I'm left to my own devices to keep the credit data linked to this contact. Further, if anyone else in my organization navigates to this record, how will they know I've purchased a credit report? Since Ratchet-X gives you the ability to attach new fields and documents to a specific record in an application, there's always a place to store acquired information so that I and others work off the same set of data. Well, that's it. Those are the 8 most common use cases for Ratchet-X. They can be used either individually or in tandem to help solve your integration problems. Did any of these use cases apply to you in the desktop integration challenges you wrestle with on a daily basis? If the answer is yes, we'd love to speak with you further and see if Ratchet-X is a fit. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you regarding these or any other interesting use cases you might come up with.